Yeah, you've been on top of it, of course, working for the Golf Channel, and we all heard the details, some sorted. Don't really need to rehash that, but do you think there's more to it that we haven't heard yet, John?
Well, I mean, at this point, if another 50 women came out and said they'd had affairs with Tiger, I think we'd all just go ho-hum,
Yeah.
So what? We already knew. It's all almost become old news. Are there details of what went on between he and Elin that I think we'll never know? Probably, but I don't know about you, Doug. I don't need to know them.
No.
I mean, we know what happened, really. But the details, I don't think we need to know any more than what we already know, at least as far as I'm concerned. I would rather, frankly, talk about, the guys who are out there on the tour and having success and playing good golf. There's some great stories. Rory McIlroy, the young Irish kid, is a great story. Jim Furyk's won twice this year. Ernie Els has won twice this year. I think there are a lot of great stories in golf without Tiger. But I know that there are some people out there who only care about Tiger. They're not so much golf fans as they're Tiger fans, and that's fine for them. I happen to be a golf fan. That's why I enjoyed doing a book like this one.
And you had to feel good about Phil Mickelson a few weeks ago, what he went through with his wife and his mom. I mean, he handled it with class, whether you like him or not. That doesn't matter. It's the way he handled that. I think that's a great story.
With you. And it's interesting because when I saw Phil hugging Amy on the 18th green at Augusta, which I think was one of the sweeter moments we've had in sports in a long time, I actually flashed back to the 2003 PGA when Sean McKeel won, because his wife, Stephanie, was 7 months pregnant with their first child at the time, and Sean hit this brilliant 7-iron to 2 inches to clinch the PGA championship. And as he came off the green, he knelt down and kissed Stephanie's belly, because he said he wanted their child to be a part of that moment, be able to show him a picture later in life of that moment with he and his mom. And when Phil went over to hug Amy after all they'd been through, as you said, I sort of flashed back to that.
Yeah, great story right there. Just have a couple of minutes left with John Feinstein. I guess you won't be doing too many stories about Jerry Rice. He just got DQ'd in his nationwide event.
No, not as a golfer. I mean, it's funny because a lot of great athletes are frustrated when they try to become good golfers, because golf, appears to be the easiest sport because nobody's trying to stop you from doing what you're trying to do. It's not like in football where somebody tackles you, or basketball where you're guarded, or hockey where you're checked into the boards, or baseball where somebody throws a pitch 95 miles an hour at you, or tennis where someone's serving 130. The ball just sits there.
No defense
and you have
in
to
golf.
get it in a hole. And all these other athletes in other sports think, well, I should be able to play golf well. And some of them are pretty good. But none of them are good enough to play on the tour. I mean, there have been a couple guys. Ralph Terry was a very good pitcher years ago for the Yankees who played very well on the senior tour after he retired from baseball. There have been a couple other guys who've become decent, journeyman-type pros on the senior tour. But for the most part, when guys try to convert sports, they have the experience Jerry Rice had. They find out that it's really pretty hard.
I know John Brody, I think he won one title on the Champions Tour.
That's
about
right.
it.
Yeah, he did win once on the senior tour. He was probably he and Ralph Terry were probably the most successful guys converting sports.
I know Mike Schmidt, I saw him down here in Sarasota a few times in some of the senior events, and never really made it. I mean,
and he's tried to qualify for the U.S. Open on a number of occasions and hasn't made it. I mean, some of these guys are very good compared to other amateur players. There may be 0, 1, 2 handicaps, which means they're good players, but that's still several levels away from these guys who play on the Pro Tour. I mean, it's funny because a lot of people will refer to players like Sean McKeel, like Ben Curtis, as journeyman players, and even putting aside the fact that they've won major championships. And I say, do you know how good you have to be to make it to the PGA Tour for 1 year, much less to play out there for 10, 15, or 20 years? People don't understand how many levels up that is from the good amateur player.
Well, the name of the book is Moment of Glory, the year underdogs ruled golf. We've been talking with John Feinstein. John, I know you do a daily blog. You want to give out a website people can get a hold of you in the book?
Sure, it's called FeinsteinOnTheBrink.com, one word, FeinsteinOnTheBrink.com, and, of course, that derives from the title of my first book, Season on the Brink, so I thank Bob Knight for that.
Great, and always look forward to talking to you when your books come out, John. Watch you on the Golf Channel as well, and I guess you might have been having a peek at the TV where Duke did pretty well yesterday in lacrosse, right?
I guess
Your alma mater.
They won. I did not watch the game, but
beat Hopkins 18-5.
Did have a great basketball season.
That's right. Well, that of course, but being a Duke graduate yourself. But John, look forward to talking to you again. Thanks for being with us today.
Doug, thanks for having me again. I appreciate it.
Talk to you soon.
Take care.